No. No. No.
Citizen Lab, they're an organization in Canada who report on various human rights violations in various countries across the world. The recent report that they released was a report related to engravings on iPhones. Now, I had no idea this was a thing, that when you buy it, you can stencil stuff into your phone.
Yeah, like, you know, Forever Yours, Sweetie, or whatever. Or not Sweetie, let's say Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
And now no one except someone named Jeff is able to buy that iPhone. It's genius because it attaches sentimental value to the phone, which removes from its physical value during resale. And so basically it's a way of removing iPhones from the market.
Citizen Lab, I don't know how they did this, but I guess what they did was they just made various orders for iPhones and canceled them and just tested to see what could be engraved and what couldn't. And one of the things they said that could not be engraved is you can't engrave the word poo, as in Winnie the Pooh. I mean, you know, it doesn't get more obvious why you couldn't do that one or not. You're not allowed to do it in China, mainland China, obviously, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Macau. I'm not going to say it out loud. You are allowed to put profanity on an iPhone. For example, they say you're even allowed to put the word Nazi on your iPhone.
Yay! So great.
Related to Japan, Canada, and the United States. Government-mandated censorship is rare. Apple's decisions to filter keywords on product engraving in these regions may be motivated by reputation management and guided social norms. So, for example, any racial profanity is not allowed. But here's a weird one. You're not allowed to engrave the word gay on your iPhone.
You just can't fathom a man being attracted to another man.
I feel like there are plenty of people that would want to say it's like gay pride.
You're allowed to engrave the word for a male sexual organ on your iPhone.
Really?
But you can't engrave the word for the female sexual organ on an iPhone.
That is weird.
How do you explain that one? What?
Or that's just sexism.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you think about it, it kind of is, because why?
There is no reason. Like, if you do it for one, you better do it for the other, or else it's gonna look really sexist. Like,
Yep.
I mean, you could make some kind of argument as like, oh, well, you know, protecting one group, but it in practice it just looks like sexism.
oh, here's a good one. You are not allowed to engrave on an AirTag 8964, which is a reference to Tiananmen Square. So you can't put that on your AirTag.
Take me home 8964.
2319! We have a 2319!
Yeah, you can't just put on 8964. And then you also can't put on this is like Pu Xi Jinping. You're not allowed to put that on your stuff either.
I remember that became a thing.
The Korean word for pornography is not allowed in China either, but it is allowed in Korea.
We will be taking strict measures against anyone who abuses the computer. Okay? Any questions? How do we get porn? Very funny.
Are all synonyms for such word illegal in China? Could we put poo on an American phone?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay, limiting what you can say in a specific market to avoid offending people in that market. If it was limiting the whole market, if like I couldn't put poo on my phone because
so here's an example. You are not allowed to put in the word condom.
Why?
I don't know.
They don't want your phone to be safe.
You can put in the F word, but you can't put in the word condom.
It's very strange.
Notice the English. You can't put in the word free Tibet, and then what it will do is it will actually modify your engraving so there's no E's, so it's just FRTIBT.
Why?
I don't know. But here's another weird one. They will also allow the word FEREE Tibet. Another one. You're not allowed to use the word Buttface on your iPhone. I don't know why, but you're not allowed to.
Kevin Armstrong is no ordinary 12-year-old.
Come on, let's get you ready for school.
Everyday tasks like going to school, eating a family meal, or even going upstairs to bed
Be careful, Dad.
present an enormous challenge.
But basically, they basically determined the worst culprit of them all is China, obviously. 1,045 censored words. Hong Kong 542, Taiwan 397, Japan, Canada, US.
At least they're censored in their appropriate markets.
But some stuff that's censored in China is also censored in Taiwan.
Well, that's contentious.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure free Taiwan is also.
Yeah, it's kind of like probably in the same category as like free Tibet is. Like, for example, you are not allowed to contain any variant of the equivalent word for breast in your language.
Hee hee.
Also, can't do adult movie net, which is basically like porn, internet porn. You're not allowed to include this word in Japanese, which apparently means like peasant.
You peasant.
It's only in Japan. Everywhere else, it's a-okay.
It's funny.
Okay, here's a weird one. You're not allowed to put Chairman Mao on your phone.
Even if you're like Chairman Mao,
you like
like
it. I don't
good.
know. I don't know. You're not allowed.
I don't even know if Chairman Mao is a good, like a positive or a negative. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I guess you're not allowed to. And then
I mean,
the
to the
Dalai Lama,
Chinese-
you're not allowed to put him on there either.
I mean, Dalai Lama, I understand because
Freedom of press.
The CCP,
Apparently, they
but-
tested that one. You're not allowed to put that there either.
Oh, the irony. Lack of, can you put freedom of speech? Which the irony of having freedom of speech be censored in your expression of speech.
In your expression of text, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but like freedom of the press censored in the press. Like
You're also not allowed to include national disasters. So you can't use
so like you couldn't say like Fukushima 2 or something.
Yeah.
For your phone.
Yeah, not allowed. Or like the flood. Or you can't use like the word like you can't use like Tangshan because that's like a city that like got like literally destroyed because of an earthquake. You can't do that one either. Nazi was only filtered in Canada. It's okay everywhere else though.
That's funny.
Why
You're not allowed to use
Canada?
the word China pneumonia, possibly for misinformation reasons.
China pneumonia.
The word null.
Oh well, that makes sense though.
Why? Because of the text? No, because it's an SQL keyword. That's what they said.
Yeah, because it's there's if you have the word null, like different command words like that, like null, can break all kinds of databases. So also things like no name can break databases depending on how they have things censored. Because the database, if they don't properly have things classified and they identify it as a string rather than as text, you can send the string null to the system as opposed to the text null to the system.
So, for example,
in
I
which
just
case,
opened SQL on my computer, and yeah, you can't just type in the word null because it's
yeah,
a command in SQL.
try to create a file in Bash called money sign. Tell me how that goes.
Really? I haven't actually never tried this.
I can't
like
remember if it was money sign and then like ls.
Like
just
what?
list
Like
it.
this? And then like
Just say touch money sign.
okay. Well, oh, just the dollar you mean?
Yeah.
I
Does it even show up?
have to look.
Is it at the top, maybe? I don't know where it would show up in the alphabet.
Well, it's already breaking ZSH because if you do $, it just starts echoing out ZSH values.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would break ZSH.
Let me open my file manager and see if it
Which,
actually...
by the way,
It's here.
I've just... Oh, it is there?
Yeah. Ta-da!
Maybe
it won't
money
open,
sign
though.
is... Yeah, well, it's...
Wait, I
Which
opened
one
it in
did-
the Vim. Never mind.
I think it was at. I think it was at that I used, so try touch at.
No? I was able to do it.
No, I was... So, the issues that I've had before in the past is trying
EST
to
might get
remove
grumpy
them.
with you.
Try to remove them now. Also, don't delete your entire directory in the
okay.
process.
So why don't we just do a file manager where I can actually maintain this?
Yeah, but
so-
this is the issue that I've had before in the
Deleted?
past. Is
Deleted.
file managers are going to be able to deal with them. I've had issues before in the past though, where I was, I didn't know what I was doing. I accidentally created a file that was called, it was like @ or money sign or something, but it was one of those special characters, and it was very, very difficult to delete the file because it was hard for me to explain to the computer, no, I want the file title to this thing, not the string that refers back to that thing. And that's where you can get into issues.
Oh, okay, well,
And so yeah, it makes sense that null is.
I'm aware of what they do. I was like, okay, I never actually tried doing it. It's because you need to, you saw how I created the $ one, right? You have to use an escape character just to effectively do it.
But it does make sense that they censor out the privileged characters and the privileged words.
You are allowed to make one with the word pedophile. Not allowed to include the names for any NetEase mobile game. That's probably for copyright though. That's a little different. You can't include any movies. Apple sent a response to us on Alright. At Apple, we are dedicated to building the best products and services for the world. Blah 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 blah. As a very thing of Apple, the process for engravings is led for our values. We are very glad to offer our customers the opportunity to express themselves. We have guidelines in place to ensure local laws and customs are respected and adhered in every country or region we operate. We handle engraving requests regionally. There is no single global list which contains all words or phrases. Instead, these decisions are made through a review process where our teams assess local laws as well as an assessment of cultural sensitivities. We revisit these decisions from time to time. Signed, Jane Horvath, Apple. Long story short, there's what you are allowed to put on your iPhone and what you aren't allowed to put on your iPhone. Thank you, Citizen Lab.